Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Hold on just a second. Let me set this up. Boom, boom, boom. Welcome back, everybody. It's Monday. Here we are. Monday, August 18th. Oh my God, look at all that color on my big, giant forehead. I just got back from Yelapa and it was a wonderful weekend, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. Of course, I haven't had a chance to prepare any of the videos that I want to show you, but I can give you a quick blow by blow in the second half of the broadcast. But it was great to go away. Everything worked out as planned. The casas are heavenly. You're gonna love them, and I'm grateful to be back. And I'm grateful for having had the opportunity to step away from the microphone for a weekend. It is a pleasure to be here. It is Monday, August 18th. And as always, I look forward to seeing what you bring to the table in terms of comments and ideas and questions and suggestions so that we can be better connected with each other in Puerto Vallarta. Needless to say, I have a ton of news. Some of these you may have heard of. I was going to talk about the submarine, but I figured you have already heard about the submarine from other sources, unless you haven't. And if you haven't heard about the submarine, there was a big hullabaloo in town just as we were leaving because apparently a submarine from Chile was seen on the bay, and then the local authorities acknowledged, yes, it's here for a quick stop and it's on business and it's heading somewhere else. But we've never seen a submarine in town, that's for sure, or not that I can remember. Anyhow, so let's just dive into the news and see what's new with you, what you did over the weekend, and what not. And as always, a capital letter Q will get you along the way if you have a comment that you wish to have showcased later on. And if you're watching in a little while, sorry, if you're watching new, if you're watching Paco Focus, you've been away. If you're watching live for the first time, write a capital letter N as in new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Let's dive into the news for this morning. This one should be of importance to anyone that is coming or going from Puerto Vallarta to Puerto Vallarta by way of the airport. Do know that the Puerto Vallarta International Airport announced that the runway that was shut down yesterday for maintenance has resumed operations. So the work was successfully completed in approximately 1 hour, and it is currently operating normally. So if you heard about this and are concerned about arrivals or departures, just know that everything is working as it should. Now, we continue to see headlines about the parking meter business, and they continue to fall into two basic categories. The folks that say, well, we're conducting studies and we're looking at feasibility, this, that, and the other. And then there are those headlines that quite confidently tell us exactly how they're going to work. So, has the government decided we're going to have parking meters and just going through the protocol of getting public consultation or not is a mystery. But this particular one lets us know that the proposal is going to consider a fixed cost of 3 pesos for every 10 minutes, which would add up to 18 pesos an hour. That the initiative seeks to modernize parking management in five key neighborhoods: Emiliano Zapata, Centro, Cinco de Diciembre, Versalles, and Marina Vallarta, and that the parking meters will be digital, and you'll need to use an app on your phone to be able to park. Now, again, we continue to see these types of news headlines, but we do not know exactly when this will come to reality, if it does. And then we found this very helpful and timely reminder. Sorry, there it is. For folks, those of you that go about town wearing or not wearing a helmet, you're gonna get fined. In Mexico, both the driver and the passenger of a motorcycle are required to wear a helmet, and failure to do so can result in a fine. And although the passenger must also wear a helmet, the responsibility for the fine usually falls on the motorcycle driver. Now, this is fascinating to me because this is an aspect of governance, municipal governance, that I've never been able to understand. Let me go through the news and then I'll unpack it. The Deputy Director of City Markets for our municipal government, Daniel Alejandro Alarcón, reported that they are working on regularizing commercial space concessions in Puerto Vallarta's 6 markets. He said, and I quote, "We have approximately 25% of these stores abandoned, never open. We are already reaching out to all the tenants to find ways to help them reopen. We believe that keeping these stores open strengthens the influx of tourism, and this process we want to implement will reactivate the market economy." That's what he stated. Now, the part that I don't understand is that this has been going on ever since I live in Puerto Vallarta. In my very simple mind, you get a space in the market, and if you don't use it or are unable to pay for it, the space gets taken away from you and gets given to somebody else that can run it. But that's my very simplistic way to look at it. The bottom line is it really is kind of like a little sour when you go to a market and you see that a number of the booths or the spots or the locales are not open to business. So the fact that they're doing this, yay, yay, local government. Is this new? It isn't. And hopefully something good will come out of this restructuring, because when we go to the mercados, we want to see, you know, everything open. We want to have all the choices that we can to enjoy the places. And as this man mentioned in part of his interview, it's great for tourism. It looks a lot better if the mercado is completely open. You tell me what you think about that. I love shopping at the mercados, as you know. Tell me if you do, and if you don't, tell us why you're not shopping at the mercados. Just out of curiosity. No shame, no tea. Maybe it's a language barrier. Maybe you haven't thought about it, but shopping at the mercados is such a fun way to experience Mexico, because if the Mexico has mercados in every city. Don't get me started on mercados, because I could be talking about mercados adventures all morning long. Let us focus on the news, and this is also very important. At the direction of Mayor Luis Munguia, Ciapal Vallarta will support the search for a solution to the problem caused by the discharge of groundwater by a private development on Guatemala Street in the Cinco de Diciembre neighborhood, a situation that sparked a neighborhood protest on the morning of Thursday, this past Thursday, August 14th. Let me unpack this. Some 4 years ago, a developer came and constructed a condo building. And in the process of doing that, they hit a phreatic mantle, which is all the water that lives on its own underground. And this is clean water that has been leaking on the street for the past 4 years. You'd think it's caca water, but no, it's completely wonderful, benign, clean water. And you'd think, well, it's no big deal if it's just clean water, but people fall because the ground is slippery. And the water, being clean, could be repurposed for something else. Now, one proposal, which is a little bit of an ambitious one, is to put a hose on the leak and direct the water to the nearby stadium so that the plants can be watered with it. And another proposal, more feasible but slightly wasteful, is to direct the water to the nearest canal. One way or another, it took a demonstration for the city officials to do something about it and start making promises. It is worth mentioning that our mayor, Mayor Munguia, was not present when people were complaining. And this is the second time in the last couple of weeks that I hear there is a protest and our mayor is missing in action. Let us hope this does not become a trend. And last, in our first block of news, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum posted a video on social media this past Thursday to announce the opening of a section of Chapultepec Park in Mexico City. No big deal. In the clip, the president showed details of the project and emphasized that it is a part of her administration's efforts to bring culture and public spaces closer to the public. However, what caught the attention of most was the phrase she closed her message with: "In Mexico, the people rule." In Mexico, the people ruled. She made this statement just hours after United States Donald Trump asserted that Mexico does what we tell them to do, and Canada too, during a speech at the White House. So I'm glad that President Sheinbaum saw to it that it was important to remind anybody that wonders here in Mexico, it is the people that rule, that give our authorities direction on what to do, not any other way. With that said, let us take a quick look at our weather forecast just to see what is going on out there. Boom, boom, boom. These clouds are taking over our skies. Go back where you came from, clouds. No, we like clouds. We like clouds because sometimes they bring rain. I wonder if it rained over the weekend in Puerto Vallarta. If it did, let me know. I would have wanted to be here for that. 30 degrees right now. Humidity is lowish at 68%. Not so bad. And our weather forecast for today indicates that we're going to have mostly cloudy skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 46%, a high of 32, and a low of 25. Then tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 56%, a high of 33, and a low of 25. And then on Wednesday, mostly clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 85%, a high of 34, and a low of 26. And that is what we have for the first half of our broadcast. Moving right along, what is next? Oh, this is great news. During this sea turtle nesting season, members of the Puerto Vallarta Public Safety Directorate's Green Patrol have collected more than 15 nests from the beaches in the last 5 days. These nests are being handed over to the environmental sustainability personnel for care and hatching. According to a statement, eggs have been recovered from virtually all of the municipality's beaches, from Boca Negra to Camarones, including Playa de Oro, Playa del Joli, and Flamingos. There are almost no reports of nests on the other beaches due to poor lighting and the number of people visible. But it's nice to see that our environmental authorities are busy doing what is important and necessary during this time of year. And starting on August 15 of this year, just a couple of days ago, orders placed on platforms such as Shine and Temu and AliExpress will pay a 33.5% global tax when entering Mexico through courier companies under a simplified scheme. This measure is part of the fourth resolution of amendments to the General Rules of Foreign Trade 2025, published in Mexico's official Gazette back on July 28th. This measure seeks to strengthen tax and customs surveillance against evasion practices, such as the undervaluation of goods to pay less taxes. I am unsure as to whether this has everything or anything to do with what's going up north, but this is a fact here in Mexico. If you buy from these providers and maybe others, you're going to pay a little bit more tax and your item is going to be slightly more expensive. Last but not least, before we get into your comments, this is also a public service announcement. Mexico is one of several countries around the world that celebrates Grandparents' Day on August 28th, which is coming up in just 10 days, so I thought you would want to know. And as I mentioned earlier, before we dive into your comments, let me just say that Yelapa was amazing. It was great to be back after pretty much around 10 years of not setting foot in the town. It has grown, and yet it continues to be condensed in that tiny little place that it is. It was wonderful. The Casas Antonieta were amazing. We got a lot of footage, a lot of video, a lot of stills. So I'm going to go through the unpacking of all these materials. But I was there with my dear friends Claudio and Lucas. I was there with, of course, Lars was with me, and I was there with our dear friends Farid and Nazi, and then Logan joined us for one night. He found his own accommodations as well. So I will have a lot to share with you in the next few days. It'll just take me a few days to go through all the stuff, but I'm very grateful, very nurtured, very raspy in the throat because I did a lot of smoking, if you know what I mean. Um, and once again, I'm totally grateful to Michael Buford, who kindly and generously sponsored this outing for me to be able to bring Yelapa a little closer to you. So thank you. Thank you. Life is good. Now, before we chat, how about this?
Few guitarists have reshaped the sound of modern jazz like Pat Metheny. For over 5 decades, he's blended warmth, innovation, and global influences into music that transcends genre. Discovered at just 19 by vibraphonist Gary Burton, Metheny's talent took him from Missouri's heartland to the world stage. His early albums for the legendary ECM label set a new standard for sound and storytelling. With longtime collaborator Lyle Mays, Metheny created music that's both intricate and instantly recognizable. From the driving pulse of phase dance to the haunting beauty of Last Train Home, his work speaks without words. This special presentation by music storyteller Paco Ojeda explores his evolution, his collaborations, and the stories behind his most iconic works. Perfect timing before his upcoming live concert in Guadalajara. Join us for an evening of music appreciation and discovery. Tickets, 300 pesos at the Joint's reception desk. Reserve early. Space is limited.
Yay! And now let's take a quick look at your comments to see what's new with you guys. Hey, oh, Mark, you guys are back on this side of the Atlantic Ocean. Welcome back. I hope you have recovered from jet lag, and I hope you and the missus are happy to be back home and hopefully without incident. It's great to see you, and it's great to read all these wonderful good morning messages. Thank you very much for that, Mary. I can't wait to put it all together. Okay, I can advance this. We have photos. We have footage of the boat ride to Yelapa. We have footage of the arriving and how beautiful it looks. I took a great video from our casa all the way to the waterfalls, then another great video from our casa to the beach. And because the casa is located right in the middle of both, you get a sense of the general layout of the town. And we took all kinds of photos that I will share with you in due time. Let's see. Betsy says submarine. Yes, there was a submarine out there, my friend. No incident. All the authorities did is ask people not to get close to it, to respect its boundaries, even though I am sure a number of local boats must have been curious about that. Good morning to my friends at Vagabundas Versalles. Ladies, I hope you're enjoying your summertime. And I remember you told me you were going to start introducing some of your regular menu little by little. So if you've come up with any specific ideas or decisions, or there are specific dates that we should know about, just let me know and we'll be happy to amplify as much as we can. Did the water taxi work out as planned? Did you take it from Los Muertos Pier? Absolutely. I got there early and I told the lady that was in charge, hey, I'm waiting for all my comadres to get here and we want to take the boat. So she just reserved the spot for me. She gave me the ticket for all 6 of us. So we had a little bit of a breakfast at Cuates y Cuetes. And once we were all gathered, we went and paid for the boat ride, and it left at 11 as scheduled, and in less than an hour, because it went directly from Los Muertos Pier to Yelapa. So it was like a 40-minute boat ride. So it was perfect. Logan, on the other hand, because he wanted to take an earlier boat this time of year, the earliest boat you can take from Los Muertos is 11 a.m. But Logan wanted to make the best of the day, so he actually took a cab to Boca de Tomatlan and took like an earlier boat so that he could catch up with us on Saturday and spend most of the day with us. Good morning, Tim, our favorite tax guru from Canada. It's great to see you. Let's see. 18 pesos per hour seems high for locals to pay. Um, I don't know that I agree or disagree with you, Mary. It's something that I am sure the government has spent a reasonable amount of time researching. I am just going to think that there are experts out there that know more about these numbers than we do. Will everybody be able to afford the parking meter? Probably not. So, what do? You may have to park where there is not a meter and just use public transportation or walk. But again, it is all up in the air, unless it is not, and we haven't been informed. But I'm keeping an eye on this one, that's for sure. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Queen of Question Laura says, absolutely love the mercados. It is lovely. So many choices and fun to introduce yourself to local things. Well, I've said this a million times here at Coffee and Headlines. Well, maybe at least 2 dozen times. Whenever I visit a city in Mexico, anywhere, for me, it's a rite of passage. I have to go to a mercado where, truth be told, I'm going to find 80% of the same chingaderas as the Mercado Municipal in other cities, but it's that 20% that makes a difference. It's that additional, okay, so what is it about your part of Mexico? What kind of artisanal things do you have? What kind of local things do you have? And that's what makes mercados so freaking amazing in my book. Anthony Sanchez says, Buenos dias, Paco. They all sell the same made in China crap and the prices are high. Well, Anthony, if this has to do with the local mercados, I am not going to agree or disagree. I'm just going to be in awe because you must have access to knowledge that is beyond my level of access. To use the word all and say they all sell the same made in China crap means that you've been to all the markets, you've taken a lot of census, and you are absolutely powerful in your amount of wealth and knowledge that you possess. Or you just used a superlative. You let us know. Either way, I'm cool with that. Let's see. Pam. Susan says, I have always loved shopping at the mercados, and with a little Espanol, it makes it even more fun. Well, as we explained the other day when we were talking about how to be a responsible immigrant, we love it when you try. We love it when you put your little Espanol out to share with us locals. So good for you, Susan. I sure hope that you enjoy the Mercado experience. Let's see. Oh, lots of rain in Emiliano Zapata. That's good to know. That's good to know. We got a little wet on Saturday night in Yelapa coming home, and it was very refreshing. Actually, we went out for dinner. I planned not to bring any electronics because I was banking on the fact that I would get soaked, and I did, and it was heavenly. Let's see. Yes. Yelapa is coming. Mi casa tiene muchas chingaderas. Oh, Susan, then your casa must be like my casa. I am trying to de chingadera-ize my place because I'm just gifting a lot of things and throwing a lot of things out just to clean up. Let's see what else. Oh, Mark, I look forward to seeing you guys in person and give you a nice big warm hug in the future. Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Hey there, Paco. I told ya. Would tell ya when I will start some Asian dishes. I will only be cooking some of Asian dishes and only on Mondays till October 1st. Well, again, please let us know if there's like an event, a Facebook event or something, or a flyer or something that we can amplify here, Jules, and we'll be so very happy to share that with everyone. John says, Hola, it is so wonderful to be back. You mean you guys are back as well? If you guys are back, that makes me very happy. If you mean it's wonderful to be back and you're talking about me, well, that's wonderful too. Let's see what else we have. Okay. So only every Monday from today until October 1st. So if you're craving your Mongolian beef, kung pao, sesame chicken, and black pepper beef, we will be seeing you soon to get your fix. Okay, you guys, if you're missing Asian dishes at Vagabundas Versalles, just know to go there on a Monday, and that way you will be treated to a nice Asian option. And we have to look forward to the rest of the ocean's options coming back to the menu. And I think we are. You are the chingadera in your casa. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Mr. House is on the house. This sounds like such a fun such a fun party. We missed you. We missed you, and we thought about you in Yelapa. We missed your company. And let's see what else we have. Anthony clarifies, as a local, that is just my opinion. For tourists, it's okay. Well, yeah, I'm having no problem with your opinion, Anthony. Um, I just get concerned when all of us generalize, and unfortunately, in my humble opinion, when we do superlatives and we start thinking, all Americans are bad because of Donald Trump, or all French people smell bad because they don't shower, or all Mexicans are crooked, or I mean, it's those kinds of things. I would never feel comfortable saying all of anything unless I had the certainty that it really is all. And that's just my 2 cents. We all have different ways to look at things, and and to wrap that thought, I do think that our world would be a lot better if we didn't use superlatives the way we do. Again, my humble opinion. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spreading the word. And I'll see you back tomorrow morning with more coffee, more headlines, and more stories. Have an awesome Monday.